Hello everyone, it's Jason at Model Kit Stuff. A big welcome. Today it's tool review day and we're looking at this thin bladed penknife, which actually isn't a very good description. Yes, hello, tool review day, and I think we're losing something in translation here. Thin bladed penknife. When I think of a penknife, I'm thinking like a Swiss Army knife, but that's not what this is at all. This is probably better described as a micro blade knife. Now, I bought this at Telford, and just because I'd not seen one before, and I thought, well, if we've not seen one before, it's definitely something we should be reviewing. It's made by a company called U-Star, and I have come across U-Star products before. They make all sorts of little tools for the modeler, including stuff that you don't see anybody else doing. So, for example, they make one of these, a needle holder, but it doesn't have the serrated blades, so you can use it as tweezers. So, you know, there's lots of little tool companies around, and this is one of them. I'm not sure if they're Chinese or Korean. I'm not quite sure. The product says made in China, but that doesn't necessarily mean that that's where the company's based. When we open up the box, we get a metal tin. In fact, the metal tin was originally in a little plastic bag, a bit overboard on the packing. But we get this nice metal box, and when I first opened it, I was very pleasantly surprised because we've actually got 3 blades. I thought I was buying a fixed bladed knife, but it's not the case. So the knife itself has a wooden handle, in this case with a little bit of damage on, but it's basically a painted wooden handle, and then you've got a screw-on lid, which all looks very nice, but it's some form of plated plastic. And then in here we have our knife with a blade, and you can see the blade is absolutely tiny. And if I show you, take one of these blades out, this is what you actually get. You get a small turned metal piece that has been put into a plastic piece, which has then in turn been put into a larger plastic tube. And then that will sit inside your knife. So it doesn't come with any instructions, doesn't tell you anything about the blades, but when you look at them, they've all got slightly different angles. They're about the same width, but they've all got slightly different angles, so handy for different jobs as you go. Let me just put that to one side for a moment. Let me show you how you swap the blades. So you unscrew the end of this here, and you'll notice that that's sprung out. The blade is actually sprung. We'll talk about that in a sec. So there is a spring in the base, which this is landing on, which means that if you're putting pressure on the knife, you're actually pushing on the spring as well, which is really interesting. I've never come across that in a knife before. So yeah, easy to change the blade. It's just like loading up a pneumatic pencil or pen. There you go, you're all way to go. So what's it for? Well, any job really that you think a small knife will be a benefit over a more traditional number 11 blade or whatever. So I've used it a few times and found it really handy. So if you think about parts like this, for example, let's move that out of the way so you can see better. I can get right into small areas with this blade that I perhaps wouldn't be able to do with a larger blade. Now you could get in with the tip of the blade, but you've got more control over this because you can use the full width of the blade because it's so small, and you can see what you're doing better because you've not got a full length of blade in your way. So yeah, it's been really handy for that sort of thing. So if you look at this bit here, if we take that off, we've got a short shot sprue gate there. So if I remove that, and then we've got a little nub here, I can use the blade to trim that nub back. So I would sand that normally, and I'd probably still sand it now, but I can use this blade to get into difficult places to do a little scraping or trimming or whatever. So I found it surprisingly useful on all sorts of things while I've been trying it out. Now, I've been using this since mid-November, and I've started using it more and more, and so I've found it quite a handy little tool. So you get 3 blades in total, comes in this tin with this nice bit of sponge and then needles either side. Yeah, it's okay. I don't know that I'm going to keep it in the tin. I'm sort of thinking that will just go with my knives in the knife storage, along with the extra blades, and we can use the tin for storing something else, to be honest. Don't really need to have it in the packaging. So I think that's what I'm going to do with mine. Now the cost in the UK, $15.99, so as knives go, not cheap. Is it an essential tool? Absolutely not. Are you going to find that you use it and you don't want to go back to your ordinary knives? Absolutely not. I've found that the sprung ability of the knife, which means that you're not putting too much pressure on things, it's a double-edged sword. Sometimes it's handy because it means you're less likely to slip, which I think is a good thing, and sometimes you feel like you can't quite get enough pressure on. I mean, ultimately you can press this blade in and then it will stop. So if I put it in the corner of that there, you can see I can press it in a little bit, but there's not a lot of movement in it. It's not like you've got the full depth of the spring. So I find it a bit of a double-edged sword, but I have really enjoyed using it, and I do think I will find uses for it. I wouldn't be rushing out to buy it if you're a new modeler and you're just starting out, but if, like me, you've got lots of knives and you just need something to get into those small little details, and you do a lot of detail work, then you might find this quite handy. So yeah, there you go. It's not commonly available in the UK at most places, but I purchased this from Tyrrell Models, and if you want one from Tyrrell Models, don't forget to use my 10% discount code, which I'll leave underneath the video. So thanks very much for dropping by. I hope that was useful or interesting. You enjoy your modelling, and I'll see you very soon. Bye for now.